Welcome back to the channel. First up, the 1965 Roosevelt dime. Specifically, we'll be looking at the 1965 Roosevelt dime with a large date and no mint mark, and we'll uncover just how much it's worth in today's auction market. So, if you're a collector or just curious about the value of this dime, stay tuned. First, let's set the stage. The Roosevelt dime, first minted in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, is a popular coin among collectors. However, when it comes to the 1965 issue, things get a bit more interesting. 1965 was a pivotal year for U.S. coinage. It was the first year the U.S. Mint removed silver from most of its coins due to a national silver shortage. The Roosevelt dime, in particular, switched from 90% silver to a copper-nickel-clad composition. This change also led to a distinctive design modification, the large date format on the 1965 dime. The 1965 Roosevelt dime features a larger date compared to earlier years. This is because the mint adjusted the die to make the date more prominent. However, finding one in fine condition without a mint mark can be quite a catch. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does fine condition mean for a coin? In numismatic terms, a fine grade is one where the coin shows some wear but retains most of its details. For dimes, this means that the design is still visible, though the high points may have some noticeable wear. So, how much is a 1965 Roosevelt dime in fine condition worth today? To get a sense of its market value, let's take a look at recent auction results and current listings. In recent auctions, a 1965 Roosevelt dime in fine condition has been fetching a range of prices. On average, you can expect to see these coins listed for anywhere between $36,000. However, the exact price can vary depending on the specific details of the coin and the auction house. Factors that can influence the value include the coin's overall appearance, the reputation of the seller, and even the current demand in the numismatic market. For instance, some sellers might price their fine condition 1965 dimes slightly higher if they are in exceptionally good fine condition or if there is a particular interest in that year's issues. If you're a collector looking to buy or sell a 1965 Roosevelt dime, here are a few tips. Always check for authenticity and condition, as even small imperfections can affect the value. Additionally, keeping an eye on auction trends and consulting with reputable dealers can help you get the best price, and if you're just starting out, remember to handle your coins with care. Use proper storage solutions like coin holders or albums to preserve their condition and value. Up the 1965 Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel, specifically in its black color, bad condition, and without a mint mark. Stick around as we explore its history, characteristics, and current market value. First, let's take a closer look at the 1965 Jefferson nickel. This coin was minted during a period of transition and change in the U.S. coinage system. Unlike earlier nickels, the 1965 version does not feature a mint mark. This absence is significant because, from 1938 until 1964, mint marks were used to indicate whether coin was produced Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. In 1965, however, the mint marks were omitted due to changes in coin production policies. This was part of a broader effort to simplify and expedite coin production during a time of coin shortage and rising demand. In 1965, the U.S. Mint was dealing with significant changes. The transition to a clad coinage system, which involved layering copper and nickel over a core of copper, was in full swing. The traditional silver content was being phased out, and the mint was focused on managing production efficiently. The result was that mint marks were temporarily left off coins to speed up the manufacturing process. Now, let's talk about the black coloration of this particular nickel. Normally, Jefferson nickels from this era have a standard silver-like appearance due to their copper-nickel composition. A blackened coin like this one could have undergone a number of environmental or chemical conditions that affected its color. Coins that turn black typically experience significant wear, tarnish, or exposure to corrosive substances. In the case of our 1965 Jefferson nickel, the black color, combined with its bad condition marked by heavy wear, scratches, and potentially other damage, adds layers of complexity to its valuation. In terms of value, the 1965 Jefferson nickel, in bad condition with black coloration, generally doesn't command a high premium over face value. Most nickels from this era, in standard or average condition, are valued at or near their face value of 5 cents. However, for collectors and enthusiasts, The value can vary depending on rarity, historical significance, and specific characteristics of the coin. Coins in bad condition with unusual features, like black coloration, can sometimes intrigue collectors looking for unique or out-of-the-norm pieces. That said, even with these features, the market value of such coins remains relatively modest. Typically, you might see these coins listed at auction or in specialty markets for anywhere between $400,000, depending on the exact state of the coin and the interests of buyers. Recent auction data shows that while most 1965 Jefferson nickels without mint marks and in poor condition fetch lower prices, unique aspects like a distinct blackened appearance can add some niche interest. If you're holding onto one of these nickels, it might be worth having it appraised by a professional numismatist, especially if you believe it has additional historical or aesthetic value. To summarize, the 1965 Jefferson nickel in black color and bad condition generally doesn't hold a high value in today's market, but its uniqueness might attract specific collectors. If you're a collector or someone with this nickel, consider its history and rarity in the context of the broader coin market. And remember, the true value of a coin can often be found in its story and its significance to its owner. Next up, the 1967 Roosevelt dime. More specifically, we're examining its value in fine condition without a mint mark. Let's get into the details of why this coin could be worth a pretty penny at auction today. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945. This coin has become a staple in American coinage, known for its distinctive design by artist John R. Sinnock. However, today's focus is on a specific year and condition, the 1967 Roosevelt dime with a large date and no mint mark. In 1967, the U.S. Mint struck dimes with both small and large date variations. For most collectors, the large date version is of particular interest, but with no mint mark, this dime might seem like just another piece of change from the mid-60s. So why does it hold significant value in the market today? Let's start by clarifying a few key aspects. The 1967 Roosevelt dime, especially the large date variety, is often categorized as a common coin. The absence of a mint mark indicates it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use mint marks for dimes in that year. This commonality usually makes it less valuable compared to rarer mint marks or dates. Despite its common status, the value of the 1967 Roosevelt dime can vary based on its condition. In fine condition, the coin exhibits some wear but retains much of its detail. Collectors and enthusiasts are often interested in fine condition coins for their affordability and quality compared to higher grade specimens. In today's auction market, the value of a 1967 Roosevelt dime in fine condition generally ranges from $17,000. This range reflects its status as a common coin, with fine condition providing a good balance between collectability and price. Higher grades, such as very fine or extremely fine, can command a bit more, but fine condition is still a popular choice for collectors looking to build a comprehensive set. To get the best value for your coin, make sure it's well preserved and properly graded. While the 1967 Roosevelt dime might not fetch a fortune, it remains an essential piece for those interested in mid-20th century U.S. coinage. Remember, the value of any collectible can fluctuate based on market demand and collector interest. Always consult recent auction results and price guides to get the most accurate valuation. Next up, the 1942 Jefferson nickel with an S mint mark, but in damaged condition. If you're a coin enthusiast or simply curious about rare coins, stick around as we explore what makes this nickel stand out and how much it's worth in today's market. First, let's take a closer look at the 1942 Monticello nickel. Produced during a critical period in American history, the 1942 nickel is notable for its transition from the copper-nickel alloy used in earlier years to the silver composition used in later years due to wartime metal shortages. But our focus today is on the S mint mark variety. In 1942, the U.S. Mint produced Jefferson nickels at 3 facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The San Francisco Mint, identified by the S mint mark, struck a smaller number of nickels compared to its counterparts. This makes the San Francisco Mint marks, especially from that year, more sought after among collectors. However, today's topic is a bit more complex. We're discussing the 1942 Monticello nickel with an S mint mark, but in damaged condition. Damage can come in various forms: scratches, dents, corrosion, or other forms of wear and tear. While this can significantly affect a coin's value, it doesn't necessarily mean it's worthless. Coin grading is essential in determining a coin's market value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state. MS-70, a coin in damaged condition, typically falls below the standard grading scale and is often evaluated based on how extensive the damage is. For the 1942 Monticello nickel, damage might push it down to a grade of good or even lower, depending on the severity. Now, how does this impact its value? In pristine condition, a 1942 Monticello nickel can fetch a premium price due to its rarity. However, in damaged condition, the value is notably reduced. For a coin like this, you might expect a range of values depending on the extent of the damage. Currently, a damaged 1942 Monticello nickel might be valued between $156,000, while a coin in excellent condition can range from $257,000 to over $300,000. Recent auction listings have shown that even nickels in damaged condition can find a niche market among collectors who might need them to complete their sets or are interested in coins with unique histories. It's worth noting that while the market value of a damaged 1942 Monticello nickel is lower, its historical significance can still make it an interesting piece for collectors. If you have a 1942 Monticello nickel or any damaged coin, proper handling and storage are crucial. Avoid cleaning your coin, as this can cause further damage and lower its value. Instead, store it in a protective holder or capsule to preserve its current condition. That's it for today's exploration of the 1942 Monticello nickel with an S mint mark in damaged condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the hobby, understanding the value of these unique coins can deepen your appreciation for numismatics. Next up, what's the value of a 2002 Roosevelt dime with a D mint mark in dirty condition? Stick around as we explore this intriguing coin's worth in today's auction market. Let's start by examining the 2002 Roosevelt dime itself. The Roosevelt dime, introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, is a staple in American coinage. It's known for its sleek design, featuring a profile of Roosevelt on the obverse and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. Now, when we talk about the 2002 Roosevelt dime, we're focusing on the version with the large date and a D mint mark, which indicates it was minted in Denver. The large date refers to the size of the numbers on the coin, and while this might seem trivial, it can affect the coin's value, especially when combined with its condition. When we say a coin is in dirty condition, we mean it has accumulated grime, stains, or tarnish. This often happens with coins that have been handled frequently or stored in less than ideal environments. It's important to note that while dirt and grime can impact the coin's aesthetic, it doesn't necessarily mean it's worthless. Let's get into the numbers. In the auction market, the value of a 2002 Roosevelt dime in dirty condition varies based on a few factors. First, the overall demand for the coin, and second, how much collectors are willing to pay for this particular year and mint mark. According to recent auction results, a 2002 Roosevelt dime with a D mint mark in dirty condition typically fetches anywhere from $5,000. This range might seem low compared to higher grade examples. But it's important to remember that the condition of the coin plays a significant role in its value. If you're considering selling or buying a 2002 Roosevelt dime in this condition, it's crucial to remember that coins in better condition, especially those graded as uncirculated or in mint state, can be worth significantly more. But don't let the lower value of a dirty coin discourage you if you're a collector or just starting out. While some might think about cleaning the coin to improve its appearance, it's generally not recommended. Cleaning can often reduce a coin's value by scratching or altering its surface. Professional cleaning should only be done by experts if absolutely necessary. Before you go, let's summarize what we've learned. A 2002 Roosevelt dime with a D mint mark in dirty condition is valued between $5,000 in today's auction market. This is due to its lower demand and the impact of its condition on its overall appeal to collectors. Next up, the 1981 Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel with a P-era mint mark. If you're into numismatics or just curious about what makes certain coins so valuable, stick around as we uncover how much this specific nickel could be worth in today's market. Let's start with some background on the 1981 Jefferson nickel. This coin is part of the Jefferson nickel series, which has been in circulation since 1938. The 1981 version is notable for its design, featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, his Virginia estate, on the reverse. Typically, the 1981 nickel is a common sight in everyday transactions. However, what sets some of these coins apart is the presence of an error, specifically the P Mint mark error. The Philadelphia Mint did not use a P Mint mark for nickels in 1981, which was a rare occurrence in the series. So what exactly is this error all about? The 1981 Jefferson nickel was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally does not place a mint mark on its coins. However, some nickels from this year were mistakenly struck with P Mint mark, indicating that they were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. This mistake is significant because it's an anomaly in a series that generally has no mint mark for coins struck in Philadelphia. Collectors and numismatists find such errors particularly fascinating and valuable due to their rarity. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty: the value of a 1981 Jefferson nickel with a P error mint mark in fine condition. In fine condition, where the details are still discernible but show some wear, these error nickels can command a premium. As of today, the market value of this rare nickel can vary based on its condition and the specific nature of the error. On average, you might find these coins selling for anywhere between $39,000 in fine condition. However, prices can fluctuate based on demand and the coin's specific attributes, such as additional unique features or its provenance. To get the most accurate value, it's always a good idea to consult with a reputable coin dealer or appraiser, especially if you have a piece that might be in exceptionally good shape or has additional unique characteristics. Why do collectors place such a high value on this nickel? Besides the obvious rarity of the mint mark error, the 1981 P error nickel represents a fascinating piece of American numismatic history. It's a reminder of the occasional slip-ups that occur even in highly controlled environments like the US Mint. For many collectors, owning a coin with a minting error is akin to holding a piece of history. The rarity and uniqueness of the 1981 nickel with the P error make it a sought-after item that stands out in any collection, and there you have it, a deep dive into the value of the 1981 Jefferson nickel with a P error mint mark in fine condition. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content on rare and valuable coins. Next up, focus on the 1992 Roosevelt dime with a D mint mark. If you've got one of these coins or are just curious about its value, you're in the right place. We'll break down its worth in today's auction market and what factors can influence its value. So, let's get started. First, let's quickly recap the basics. The Roosevelt dime was first issued in 1946, replacing the winged Liberty head design that had been in use for decades. This coin features President Franklin D. Roosevelt, and it's produced at several mints across the United States. Today we're focusing on the 1992 Roosevelt dime, which bears the D mint mark indicating it was produced at the Denver Mint. The 1992 D Roosevelt dime is a part of the modern dime series, and while it might not be the rarest or most valuable coin out there, its value can still be quite interesting, especially when it's in fine condition. To understand its value, we need to talk about coin grading. In the coin collecting world, fine is a grade that describes a coin showing moderate wear but still retaining most of its detail. For the 1992 D Roosevelt dime, a fine condition coin will have clear details on the portrait and the coin's inscriptions, though you may notice some wear on the high points of the design. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with fine being around a 12 on this scale. This means that while the coin isn't in mint or uncirculated condition, it still holds a fair amount of its original features. So, how much is a 1992 D Roosevelt dime in fine condition worth today? As of the latest market reports, this coin generally sells for around $75,000 at auction. The value might seem modest compared to some older or rarer coins, but it's important to remember that market conditions, demand, and the specific characteristics of the coin can affect its price. Factors that can influence the value include the overall demand for Roosevelt dimes, the current trends in coin collecting, and even the specific details of the coin itself. For example, if the coin has been exceptionally well preserved, despite its fine grade, it might fetch a higher price. If you're looking to sell your 1992 D Roosevelt dime, There are a few options. You can list it on popular auction sites like eBay, or you might consider visiting a local coin shop or attending coin shows where collectors gather. Each of these venues has its own market dynamics, so it's worth exploring different options to get the best value for your coin. On the flip side, if you're looking to add this coin to your collection, keep an eye on auction results and listings. Prices can vary, so doing a bit of research and comparing prices across different platforms can help you find a fair deal. To wrap things up, the 1992 D Roosevelt dime in fine condition is a nice coin to have, and while it might not break the bank, it certainly has its place in the world of coin collecting. Understanding its value helps you make informed decisions whether you're buying, selling, or just collecting for fun. Next up, the 1983 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark in fine condition. If you're passionate about coins or just curious about their value, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Here we have the 1983 Jefferson nickel. This particular coin was minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the P mint mark on the reverse side. Unlike many other coins, this P mint mark was introduced in 1980, and it's quite significant for this nickel. Let's talk about the coin's details. The 1983 Jefferson nickel features a profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, while the reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's historic home. This design has been a staple since 1938, though minor changes have been made over the decades. In fine condition, which means the coin shows moderate wear with some detail remaining on the design, the 1983 Jefferson nickel is particularly interesting because of its mint mark. The P mint mark on a nickel is relatively rare, as most nickels from this era are marked with D for Denver or no mint mark for Philadelphia. In fine condition, the coin will have noticeable wear, but key features should still be visible. The portrait of Jefferson will be less detailed, and the Monticello building will have more visible wear, but its overall shape and design should be intact. So, what's the value of this nickel in today's market? Well, it can vary depending on a few factors, including the coin's exact condition, any unique features, and current market demand. As of today, a 1983 Jefferson nickel with a P mint mark in fine condition generally falls into the range of $7,500. It might seem modest compared to rarer coins, but it's still a noteworthy addition for collectors focusing on modern issues or mint mark varieties. Market trends for these coins are influenced by collector interest and availability. While the 1983 P nickel isn't extremely valuable, it's a piece of numismatic history with a unique characteristic that can add to its appeal. If you have one in your collection, it's worth keeping an eye on its market value, as even minor fluctuations can impact its worth. To sum up, the 1983 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark in fine condition is valued between $8,000. It's a great coin for collectors interested in mint mark variations and modern issues. If you have this coin, it's a solid piece to hold onto or trade within the collector community. Next up, the 1998 Roosevelt dime with a D mint mark. If you have one of these in your collection or are considering buying one, you won't want to miss this. The Roosevelt dime, introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, has been a staple in U.S. coinage for decades. But not all Roosevelt dimes are created equal. Today, we're focusing on the 1998 issue with a D mint mark. The D indicates it was minted in Denver. So how much is this dime worth in today's auction market, especially in very fine condition? Let's break it down. In terms of design, the 1998 Roosevelt dime features the classic image of Roosevelt on the obverse and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. These elements, coupled with its small size, make it a distinct and recognizable coin. But what really sets this coin apart in terms of value is its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, and the very fine condition is a desirable grade. A coin in very fine condition will show moderate wear but still retain much of its detail. For the 1998 Roosevelt dime, this means that while the coin may show some light wear on the high points, it still has clear and distinct features, making it a prized piece for collectors. So, how much is a 1998 Roosevelt dime with a D mint mark worth in today's auction market? According to recent auction results and market trends, a 1998 Roosevelt dime in very fine condition typically sells for around $6,000. This value can fluctuate based on the specific auction, the collector's market demand, and the coin's exact quality. Coins in higher grades or those with unique characteristics might fetch a premium, but for a very fine example, you can expect this range. If you're considering selling or purchasing this coin, remember that factors like coin preservation, authenticity, and overall market conditions play a significant role in its final price. Keeping your coin in top condition can help you get the best value if you decide to sell. That's all for today's deep dive into the 1998 Roosevelt dime with a D mint mark. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights into rare and valuable coins. Drop any questions or comments below. We love hearing from fellow collectors. Next up, the 1987 Jefferson nickel with a P mint mark. We'll uncover its value in today's market and why this seemingly ordinary coin might just be worth more than you think. Produced in Philadelphia, the 1987 Jefferson nickel is part of the iconic Monticello series. Known for its depiction of Thomas Jefferson's home on the reverse and Jefferson's portrait on the obverse, this coin is a staple in many collections. But how valuable is this particular nickel in fine condition? Let's start with a bit of history. The Jefferson nickel series was first introduced in 1938, featuring a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. This design remained largely unchanged until 2004, when the series celebrated its 200th anniversary with new designs. However, our focus today is on the 1987 issue. The 1987 nickel was minted in Philadelphia, marked with a P mint mark to denote its origin. While the P mint mark was introduced on nickels in 1987, it did not significantly impact the coin's value initially. But as we'll see, its worth can change depending on the coin's condition. In numismatics, coin condition is crucial. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state. MS65, the fine condition, where our focus is today, generally indicates that the coin has seen some wear but still retains its major design elements. Specifically, in fine condition, you might see some light scratches or wear on the high points, but the overall design remains clear and legible. Now, let's talk value. As of today, the 1987 Jefferson nickel with a P mint mark in fine condition typically ranges between $10,000. While this might not seem like a significant amount, it's important to remember that market prices can fluctuate based on factors such as demand, rarity, and collector interest. Recent auction results and online sales data confirm these values. Some coins in slightly better or worse condition might fetch different prices, but in fine condition, this nickel remains relatively accessible for collectors. Its value can also be influenced by the overall quality of the coin and whether it has been part of any special collections. So there you have it, the 1987 Jefferson nickel with a P mint mark in fine condition. While not the most valuable nickel in the series, it still holds a special place in American numismatics. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, understanding the value of your coins helps you appreciate their historical significance. Next up, the 1971 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark. We'll explore its value, the factors that influence its worth, and what you can expect if you're looking to buy or sell one in today's auction market. So, let's get started. First off, let's talk a bit about the 1971 Roosevelt dime itself. This coin, minted in the United States, features the likeness of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. It was part of a regular series that has been produced since 1946. Following Roosevelt's death, the 1971 dime is part of this ongoing series, but today we're focusing on the version without a mint mark. You might wonder why the absence of a mint mark is significant. Mint marks indicate where a coin was produced. For the 1971 Roosevelt dime, there was no mint mark for coins produced in Philadelphia. Coins with a mint mark, like those from Denver or San Francisco, are often of particular interest to collectors. The lack of a mint mark on the 1971 dime means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which can make a difference in value depending on the coin's condition. Condition is crucial when it comes to coin value. The 1971 Roosevelt dime we're discussing is graded as fine, but what does fine mean in numismatic terms? Coins in fine condition have clear details, though they may show some wear, especially on high points like Roosevelt's hair and the torch's details. There might be light scratches or marks, but the overall design remains recognizable and well-defined. So, how much is a 1971 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark worth in today's auction market? In fine condition, this coin typically ranges between $34,000. The value can fluctuate based on factors such as demand, the specific characteristics of the coin, and the auction house's audience. While it may not be a high-value coin compared to rarer issues, it still holds a special place for collectors, especially those focused on complete series or specific years. If you're looking to buy or sell a 1971 Roosevelt dime in fine condition, here are a few tips. For buyers, make sure to check the coin's condition and compare it with recent sales to ensure you're getting a fair price. For sellers, presenting the coin with clear photographs and a detailed description can help attract more interested buyers. Utilizing reputable auction platforms and attending coin shows can also increase visibility and potentially fetch a higher price. To wrap up, the 1971 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark is a modestly valued coin in fine condition, typically worth between $36,000 at auction. While it might not break the bank, it's a valuable piece for collectors completing their Roosevelt dime collections. Next up, the 1977 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel with a D-era mint mark in fine condition. We'll explore its history, unique features, and its current market value. So, let's get started. The 1977 Jefferson nickel is a popular coin among collectors, but it's the version with the D-era mint mark that has captured the attention of many. Let's break down why this coin is so special and valuable. First, a little background on the coin itself. The 1977 Jefferson nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and an image of Monticello Jefferson's historic home on the reverse. It was minted during a time when the U.S. Mint was producing millions of these nickels to meet the demands of a growing economy. Now, let's talk about the D-era mint mark. This error is significant because it indicates a mistake made during the minting process. Normally, the Denver mint mark is a small, clear D located on the reverse of the coin, near Monticello. However, in this error version, the mint mark might be misplaced, partially stamped, or otherwise flawed. The error could be the result of a number of factors including worn dies, incorrect alignment, or even contamination during the striking process. Collectors find these errors particularly intriguing because they offer a glimpse into the imperfections of minting technology and are often highly sought after for their rarity. The condition of the coin plays a crucial role in determining its value. For this particular 1977 nickel, being in fine condition means that it has noticeable wear but still retains its overall details and features. The fine grade is typically characterized by a clear but worn design, with some of the finer details being less distinct. So, what's the worth of a 1977 Monticello nickel with a D-era mint mark in fine condition today? Based on recent auction results and market trends, this coin can command a premium price. While standard 1977 nickels might fetch $20,000, the era version in fine condition can be worth significantly more. In today's market, collectors and enthusiasts are willing to pay anywhere from $24,000 for a 1977 Monticello nickel with a D-era mint mark in fine condition. The price can fluctuate based on factors like demand, the extent of the error, and the coin's overall appeal to buyers. If you're fortunate enough to have one of these rare coins in your collection, it's definitely a gem worth holding onto. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, finding an era coin like this adds a unique and valuable piece to your numismatic journey. Next up, the 1978 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark. If you've got one of these in your collection or are considering buying one, you'll want to stick around to find out just how valuable it can be in today's auction market. Let's get started. The Roosevelt dime, introduced in 1946, is a tribute to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945. Designed by artist John R. Sinnock, this dime has become a staple in American numismatics. However, when we talk about the 1978 Roosevelt dime, we're focusing on a coin that carries its own unique story. In 1978, the U.S. Mint produced Roosevelt dimes at two main locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Philadelphia are notable for not having a mint mark, while those from Denver carry a D-mint mark. For our purposes, we're zeroing in on the 1978 Roosevelt dime without any mint mark. Let's take a closer look at the 1978 Roosevelt dime, measuring 17.91 millimeters in diameter and weighing 2.27 grams. This coin is made of a blend of copper and nickel, giving it a distinctive appearance with a reeded edge. The obverse features a portrait of Roosevelt, while the reverse displays a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. The value of a coin can significantly fluctuate based on its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state. For the 1978 Roosevelt dime, fine condition means the coin shows wear but retains clear details. You'll notice some flattening on the high points, but the essential features are still visible. A fine condition coin is a step above very good but below very fine and extra fine. While not as pristine as higher grades, a well-preserved fine coin can still command a respectable price. So, how much is a 1978 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark worth in today's auction market? In fine condition, this coin generally fetches between $38,000. While this might not seem like a fortune, it's important to remember that the value of coins can vary depending on demand, rarity, and specific auction conditions. Recent auctions have shown that well-maintained dimes can sometimes exceed this range, especially if they're part of a larger collection or if the auction environment is particularly competitive. Even though the 1978 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark might not be among the highest value coins in numismatics, it still holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. It represents a snapshot of American coinage from the late 1970s and serves as a reminder of the ever-evolving world of coin collecting. If you're a collector, having a complete set of Roosevelt dimes, including the 1978, without a mint mark, can add significant value to your collection. Plus, it's always exciting to discover how even seemingly ordinary coins can surprise us with their worth. Next up, the 1994 Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark in full bad condition. If you have one of these in your collection or are curious about its value, stick around. The 1994 Jefferson nickel, part of the Monticello series, is a coin that has garnered interest among collectors. However, the focus today is on a particular variant, the one with the D mint mark in full bad condition. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does full bad condition mean, and how does it affect the coin's value? To start, let's clarify what we mean by full bad condition. This term generally refers to coins that have seen better days, often marked by heavy wear, scratches, discoloration, or even corrosion. These factors significantly impact a coin's overall appearance and its market value. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of its value. In pristine, uncirculated condition, the 1994 D Jefferson nickel might only fetch a few dollars at most. However, when it comes to coins in full bad condition, the value takes a hit. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state. Full bad condition typically corresponds to grades like poor or fair. These grades reflect a coin with significant wear and damage. The value of a coin in such condition is usually considerably lower compared to one that is well preserved. For the 1994 D Jefferson nickel in full bad condition, the current market value is quite modest. As of today, you might expect it to be worth between $500. This low value is due to the high mintage of this coin. Over 1 billion were produced in 1994, making it less rare and less sought after in poor condition. If you're looking to sell or buy a coin like this, keep in mind that individual listings on auction sites or marketplaces may vary slightly. Some sellers might price it slightly higher, especially if they're targeting niche collectors, or if the coin has particularly unique damage. However, the general market consensus remains within the range we mentioned. So, while the 1994 D Jefferson nickel in full bad condition isn't likely to make you a fortune, it's still an interesting piece of American numismatic history. Whether you're a collector or just curious, every coin has a story and a place in the broader tapestry of coinage. Next up, the 1966 Roosevelt dime, specifically one without a mint mark, in fine condition. If you're a fan of rare and valuable coins, you'll definitely want to stick around. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt. This design has been a staple in American coinage ever since, but not all Roosevelt dimes are created equal. The 1966 Roosevelt dime, in particular, has piqued the interest of many collectors. Let's delve into what makes the 1966 issue unique. Produced in 1966, the Roosevelt dime was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. However, the 1966 Roosevelt dime we're focusing on today has no mint mark. In terms of design, it features the familiar profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. This coin is composed of a copper-nickel-clad composition. To accurately assess its value, we need to understand its condition. In numismatic terms, a fine-condition coin is one that shows moderate wear, with the main features still clearly visible but with some details softened. On the 1966 Roosevelt dime, you'll notice that the coin exhibits some signs of wear, but the main elements of the design remain distinct. Now, let's talk about value. While the Roosevelt dime is not typically considered one of the most valuable dimes in the series, its value can vary depending on several factors. For a 1966 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark in fine condition, you're looking at an auction market value that generally ranges from $50,000. Recent auction results and listings on platforms like eBay and Heritage Auctions indicate that fine-condition 1966 dimes have been selling towards the lower end of this spectrum. This is due to their relatively high mintage and the fact that the coin does not feature any rare minting errors or unique characteristics. To put this into perspective, some Roosevelt dimes from different years or with specific mint marks might fetch higher prices. For example, dimes from the early years of the series, or those with noticeable errors, can command much higher values. However, the 1966 version in fine condition remains a more common find among collectors. Even though the 1966 Roosevelt dime might not break the bank, it holds significance for collectors due to its historical value and its role in the series. It's a piece of American numismatic history and can be a valuable addition to a collection, especially for those interested in the Roosevelt series. So, there you have it. The 1966 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark in fine condition is worth between $52,000 in today's auction market. If you have one of these in your collection, it might not be a high-value coin, but it's certainly a piece worth appreciating for its historical significance. Next up, the 1954 Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel, and we're focusing on one without a mint mark in a dirty condition. If you want to find out how much this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth in today's market, stick around. First, let's set the stage by understanding the basics of the 1954 Jefferson nickel. This coin is part of the Jefferson nickel series, which began in 1938. The 1954 issue is notable for being struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it's important to note that it doesn't have a mint mark, unlike coins struck at the Denver or San Francisco mints. Now, condition plays a crucial role in determining a coin's value. Coins are typically graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with intermediate grades like good, very fine, and extremely fine. Our focus today is on a coin in dirty condition. Dirt and grime can obscure a coin's details and diminish its overall appeal, but the value is not solely based on cleanliness. In the current market, the value of a 1954 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in dirty condition can vary widely. Coins in pristine condition, or those with rare mint errors, can fetch significantly higher prices. However, even in a dirty state, there is still value to be found. For a 1954 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in dirty condition, you can expect the market value to be on the lower end. Based on recent sales data and auction results, such coins generally range from $46,000. This value is influenced by the coin's overall appearance, rarity in the condition described, and demand among collectors. While the 1954 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark isn't particularly rare, collectors might still find value in it, especially if they're looking to complete a series or if the coin has any unique characteristics beyond the dirt. Even coins in less than ideal condition can be of interest to the right buyer. To wrap up, the 1954 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, even in dirty condition, holds some value in today's market, typically between $50,000 if you have one of these coins. It might be worth cleaning it carefully to see if it improves its condition or if it reveals any hidden details that could affect its value. Next up, explore the value of a 1975 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark in fine condition. The Roosevelt dime, first minted in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, has become a staple in American coinage. Our focus today is on the 1975 issue, which is notable for being part of the series minted without a mint mark. In this video, we'll break down its value in fine condition and what collectors are willing to pay for it in today's auction market. First, let's set the stage with a bit of history. The 1975 Roosevelt dime is part of a series minted from 1968 to 1988 without a mint mark. The absence of the mint mark was a change from earlier years when dimes carried a mint mark to indicate where they were produced, such as Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. In 1975, the US Mint decided to drop the mint mark due to the cost-saving measures and a surplus of coins from previous years. Now, let's talk about the coin itself. The 1975 Roosevelt dime features the same iconic design the obverse showcases President Franklin D. Roosevelt's profile, designed by John R. Sinnock, while the reverse depicts a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. When we refer to a coin in fine condition, we're talking about a coin with moderate wear. The details are still visible, though the high points of the coin, like the edges and the central details, show some wear from circulation. So, what's this dime worth today? In fine condition, the 1975 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark typically fetches between $16,000 in today's auction market. This range can vary based on the coin's exact condition, any unique features, and the demand from collectors. Several factors can influence the final sale price. While the 1975 Roosevelt dime isn't considered rare, its value can be impacted by the overall market for dimes, the condition of the specific coin, and the current interest in Roosevelt dimes among collectors. Coins in better condition, such as those graded as very fine or extremely fine, can command higher prices. Additionally, if the coin is part of a complete collection or has been preserved in exceptional quality, it might see a premium on the auction block. If you're a collector or thinking about investing, here are a few tips. Ensure your coin is graded accurately by a reputable grading service if you plan to sell it or buy it at a higher price. Keep your coins in a safe, dry place to maintain their condition. Also, stay updated on market trends by following auction results and news from numismatic communities. To wrap things up, the 1975 Roosevelt dime, without a mint mark in fine condition, is a modestly valued coin in today's market, usually ranging from $16,000. While it might not break the bank, it's a great piece to have in a collection. Especially for those interested in the Roosevelt dime series or US coinage from the mid-20th century. Next up, the 1978 Monticello Jefferson nickel with a D-era mint mark. We'll explore its value in today's market and why it's considered such a hidden treasure. Let's get started. The 1978 Monticello Jefferson nickel is part of the ongoing series that began in 1938. However, this particular coin stands out due to a rare error that collectors are always on the lookout for. If you're a collector or investor, you'll definitely want to stick around to learn more about this unique piece. The 1978 Jefferson nickel was minted in Philadelphia, which typically does not have a mint mark. However, there are instances where a mint mark D, usually reserved for coins struck in Denver, appears on these coins. This anomaly is referred to as the D-era mint mark. It's important to note that this is a minting error and not a regular feature of the 1978 nickel. Here's where the excitement begins. Error coins are highly sought after in the numismatic world because they're rare and intriguing. Collectors prize them not only for their rarity, but also for the story they tell about the minting process. In terms of value, a 1978 Monticello Jefferson nickel with a D-era mint mark in fine condition can command a substantial price. As of today's market, prices for this coin can range between $73,000 depending on factors such as the clarity of the error, overall coin quality, and demand among collectors. To give you a clearer picture, let's look at recent auction results. In the last few years, similar era nickels have been sold for impressive amounts. For instance, a coin with the D-era mint mark in fine condition fetched $76,000 at a major auction last year. The prices can vary, but this gives you an idea of the potential value. Grading is crucial when determining the value of any coin. For the 1978 Monticello Jefferson nickel, a fine condition means the coin will show moderate wear but still have clearly defined features. The error mark should be visible and legible. Coins in better condition or with more pronounced errors could be worth even more. If you're on the hunt for this rare coin, here are a few tips. Always buy from reputable dealers or auction houses and consider having the coin authenticated by a professional grading service. They can provide a detailed report on the coin's condition and authenticity, which can be crucial for both buyers and sellers. To wrap up, the 1978 Monticello Jefferson nickel with the D-era mint mark is a rare and valuable find. With current market values ranging from $75,000, it's a great addition to any collection. If you happen to come across one of these, you've got a real treasure on your hands. Keep collecting and keep discovering the hidden treasures of the numismatic world. See you next time.